I got these 2 cups from my parents when they went to Israel many years ago. This is a very important cup. The meaning of this cup will change your life. Let's find out why. Hey, now if you remember in our last video, we talked about the Jewish Galilean Wedding and how it's a picture of the prophetic timeline. Now I want to read a quote from Pastor Jay McCarl. He says, "The wedding tradition contains a series of customs that would unfold over an entire year, revealing a chronological sequence of events that perfectly aligns with the recorded biblical prophecies leading to the second coming of Christ." Now at this point, I ask you, if you want to, you can go into the links in the description, and I'll have some longer sermons and videos that you can watch on the subject. I'm going to keep everything brief because I like to keep these videos short. So we're going to skip a lot of details just to get to some points I'm trying to make. But one of the first things that they do is the bride and the groom and their families and everybody in the city, everybody in the town who wants to be a part, they all rush to the main gate to see the betrothal. They want witnesses. So everybody who can, this is a big deal. They go to the main gate, and then there they have the written covenant. So the written proposal, they go through all the stipulations and agreements and everything in there, and then they ask, do you agree to these terms? And then both families, let's just say they go with it, okay? They both agree to the terms. After that, gifts are exchanged, and more bigger ones go to the bride, more of an insurance plan than a bride price, but that's another discussion. And the next is the moment, and that's what we're talking about today. It has to do with this cup. The groom, he takes a pitcher of wine and he pours wine into this cup. And then with fear and respect and joy, it's called the cup of joy, he passes it to his bride. And with this, she has the choice to either accept or reject his proposal for marriage. She can pass it back and say, no, I don't want it. Or she can drink from it and accept the proposal for marriage and seal the covenant. This is the part where you seal the covenant. So she takes the cup and she drinks from the cup. And then when she's done drinking from the cup, then it goes back to the husband and he drinks from it. And this is the part that's really, really neat. Okay, think back to your Bible as I say this. After the husband drinks from the cup, he says, "You are now consecrated to me by the laws of Moses, and I will not drink of this cup again until I drink it anew with you in my Father's house." Remember the Last Supper? Your mind should be going there. Jesus offered the cup of new wine, the covenant of his blood, to his disciples. When the disciples saw that he brought out this cup, their mind went to the wedding. Matthew 26:29 says, "I tell you, I will not drink from this cup from now on until the day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom." When the groom gives the wife this cup, he offers her a new covenant. Jesus offered this cup to the disciples with his new covenant in his blood. These are the words of Amar Safati, and he says, "I am about to pour my blood. It is a promise. We're going to be together again, and we're going to mark it by drinking the wine." J.D. Farag says, "The bread and the wine form a new union. In the Arab culture, the thought is to drink from the same cup and to eat from the same bread is to have that which is in you be also in me. A common union, communion, no longer two, but one." When Jesus says at the Last Supper, "This is my body broken for you," he's talking from a bridegroom to his bride. When he says this is the cup of the new covenant, this is how he would seal the betrothal. By taking communion, you are accepting the terms and the stipulations of the new covenant and the promise that you'll never go back on it. You are telling Jesus that you are his and he is yours. And then we know that Jesus says he has to go for a while, but he's going to come back. It's just like the bride and bridegroom. The groom, he's going to have to go for a short time, prepare his father's house, get the whole wedding supper and things ready, and then he'll come back for his bride. And then he says that's when he'll drink it anew with us in his Father's kingdom. That's amazing, because that's exactly what the groom says to his wife. We're taking this cup now, but I'm going to go away for a while, and the next time I drink it with you is when I come back to get you, and we'll drink it anew in my Father's house. And that's exactly what Jesus said at communion. So this is a perfect description of end times events. And what's also fascinating to me is that Jesus went beyond time and space and everything to make everyone know, the Jewish Galileans, how to even perform this wedding. And then Jesus gets here. So the wedding's already, they know how to do this hundreds of years before Jesus is even here, thousands of years. And then Jesus comes and uses that description to describe this is what it's going to be like. So he's giving us a timeline. He's telling us we don't have to be in the dark about the order of events and how things are going to happen. This is what I'm telling you. And I'm using these words to signify, look at this cup, look at the order, look at the wedding. This is how it's going to happen. And he went beyond all time and space to tell us that. So in other words, knowing the prophetic calendar, like his birth, his death, his resurrection, the rapture, the wedding supper, his second coming, the millennial reign, all those things, they're all outlined in the Jewish Galilean wedding. We just have to look at it and study it, and we can see how things are going to happen. These are the questions that the disciples asked, and we get the answers for. When will these things happen, and what will be the signs of the coming of the end of the age? Jesus told us by looking at the wedding. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Well, I hope that excited your faith as it did mine. We're going to go through more details later. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to give a brief outline of all the events to come. So with that, in the comments, please leave any questions that you have. I want to get to those, make videos answering your questions. If you have anything else that you want to say, please leave them in the comments. Please remember to also share these videos or take the information that you've learned and teach it yourself. And please tell others about Jesus and all that he has for us, especially this amazing covenant he has for us. So with that, I'm Amanda Pettit. I'll see you next time on Making Revelation Simple.